wear the pyjama of the club, and I even sleep with the pyjama.
Of course, I'm going to defend you until the last day in our lives in the press conference. But here, I'm going to tell you the truth. Some of you play better when you're angry with me. So if you hate me, guys. No problem at all.
Ein Trainer ist ein Idiot. Ein Trainer sei was passieren im Platz.
Abbiano i coglioni di dare una mano alla squadra. Io sono là 24 ore al giorno.
Il giorno dopo è arrivato un altro allenatore che sembra che guarda tutto che Mourinho fa. Nobody asked me my team. Do you want to know my team tomorrow? So why don't you ask me?
What's your team tomorrow?
It's too late. I'm sorry.
Zizou, Zinedine Zidane.
Balotelli, Aguero!
Aguero بيرسل الكرة محاولة تصل Aguero بيعدي مستحيل.
يا ميسي انكر 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 ميسي جول 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 جول.
Well, welcome to Qatar.
Thank you.
As you saw maybe already, the things are growing very fast. Everything the way that you wish. We have, I think, good stadiums to host the World Cup, and I believe as a coach, and I never play a World Cup as you, but as I told you before, I think it's going to be easy as I prepare the teams to be in Qatar to play the World Cup, because we're going to be in one location. We're not going to have to travel, so this is going to make the things easier in terms to prepare and recover from the games. So I don't know about your experience, what things are important for you in such competition like this.
Well, thank you for the welcoming, Felix. I think it's fascinating when you are international. As you know, international football and club level football, they never go hand by hand. The players in the middle. And then the international tournament always comes at the end of the season. I'm really intrigued of seeing the player in the peak of the moment of their seasons, which is November, to play for the national teams in a major tournament like the World Cup. So it's fascinating. The players will be fully fresh, will be ready. And then it's the uniqueness of Qatar, is geographically to have 8 stadiums within 30 kilometers. For the players will be a great experience, but I'm thinking for the fans, you could almost watch 2 games. You could be all following the World Cup in a way that has never been done before. When you go, I was the full tournament in South Africa, and there was the full tournament in Brazil, and then the full tournament in Russia. And there is always a clock ticking to see all the stadiums finished. Here in Qatar, it's almost 1,000 days to start, and everything is almost in place, almost done. There's only one stadium. It's incredible. So I feel that this is going to be a unique opportunity to see the real level of a player at international level. And obviously, I don't know about your experience in the Asian Cup, but this is, I think, we will see the best international tournament from a player point of view.
I agree because we had the recent experience. We play the Asian Cup. It was in January, and you see that the players were at the best moment of the season. Also, we play in Emirates. The weather, it was quite similar the one we're going to have here in the World Cup. So it was excellent for the football perspective. Then we went to play Copa America last summer, and you feel the difference. The players arrive after a very long season with their clubs where they play a league, a Champions League, Asian Champions League. Some injuries, but that's normal. I think at the end of the season it can happen more than at the beginning. Risk. So if you compare in terms of us as a coaches to prepare and to have the team ready, obviously it's going to be much better. And as you said, very important that we're going to have eight stadiums very close to each other, so you don't have to move, you don't need to take flights from city to city. So I expect hopefully to be the best World Cup in the world for the fans in terms of football quality.
Well, it's great to see as well. I came to Aspire in 2014. And everything is improved, and it's got bigger, and it's got almost more along the vision that there is when you create a high performance environment in football. This is as good as it gets, and I don't know if you've seen any benefits of using these facilities towards the national team.
This is one thing that I think is unique in football, because it's a long-term project, and we know that in football always you want to win today. And here they had the picture what they had, the country, what we have. We are a very small country with not too much people. So they need to build a high performance center and to work with the youth. At the end, we have what we have, and we need to develop and to optimize and perform, that they perform at the 100%. So they were able to do that, to be patient, because when you start now in the last national team that we play in the Asian Cup, we had boys that I was training them when they were 14, 15 years old. So this is a process, and processes are not easy because not always it's going well. You have phases where, in terms of results especially, you cannot achieve what the people expect. The country, the management, they trust, they believe, and they keep working hard. And things like when you win the Asian Cup, it gives the people hope to keep working in such big tournament like the World Cup. It's going to be our first time to play there, and it's everyone is very committed to reach there, and hopefully we're going to have experiences like the Copa America. For us is great, because you can play against big national teams, Brazil, Argentina, when points are there, official competition. Because when you play friendlies, of course, also it's good for us. But when there is a competition that everyone wants the 3 points, it's the real experience. So everything is planned around thinking about the 2022, and good team to being able to give a good image and compete well against. Still, we don't know who, and to have you here, it's very nice for me. First, because as a coach, you were one of the first ones for me in our country that you were playing outside. Now everyone is traveling, coaching, and playing outside. But 25 years ago, it was not too many people.
Not too many, no.
So it was a huge experience what you have. So you are one of the first ones that you have the experience to being coaching outside, and also for me important. What do you think about to coach a club where you have, from my opinion, maybe a bigger impact, or a national team where we have our FIFA windows, and we are running out of time to
Yeah, I think it's a completely different job. Obviously, you're managing a team, but it's a completely different job. And you need to understand that very quickly. At the beginning, I was fighting against myself, because at the club level, Everything is about trying to put things in place that you can see the players developing and you can see the players learning the understanding of what you're trying to do and the relationships. International football is about prioritizing and almost looking at what the game a little bit in between is almost the time that that you haven't got in the club, but you can work with the players a little bit closer with these facilities. I think in our case is almost trying to coach the players from away from having them there. You need to watch our players now. They are in the best leagues in Europe. We even got players in the Chinese Super League, and you're trying to get almost the puzzle while they're away from the time with you. But I think in Belgium, as you know, we got a really committed generation. Everyone speaks about how good the generation is. The talent is there to be seen, but what the people don't see is that real commitment for the national team. I think that makes things was essential for me to try to understand the coaches, because international football gets on the way. You need to understand it. Then when you can get, like now in March in 2020, we're going to have the opportunity of coming together away and spending a lot of time. It really puts things in place to prepare for the next tournament. So it's almost prioritizing and almost finding that time as quality time rather than quantity. But I think as a coach you need to learn it. It's something that I was never prepared when I took the job. It was more, you need to learn as you are with the day to day.
Qatar.
Well, I think for us, in our case, it's going to be the first World Cup for the country, for me. So, of course, the excitement, looking forward to this tournament, it's a big motivation for us. But we know that on the way still we need many things. We have Copa America and next June. So let's say our long-term project is the World Cup, but we need to do our qualifiers for the Asian Cup, our Copa America. So many things going on before to arrive there. Everything focused to prepare ourselves to play for the first time such competition like this. And we'll see, of course, when we reach closer to the competition, we're gonna see how we're gonna face, also for our players first time and playing at home, how we're gonna deal with all this. You can use many words, pressure or motivation, but you know, as a player, you cannot be extra motivation, because then maybe you cannot control your emotions. But of course, everyone is working very hard. But as for your experience in a World Cup, that you did an excellent World Cup in the last one. I think it was a team that, as a coaches, many people we are looking, because you did many different things depending on the games. I think you look after the details. That I think it's very important nowadays. And you beat, you reach far in the competition. You beat teams like Brazil, that it's always the favorite to win. So I don't know how the players they feel before such competition like this. For a player.
Yeah, I think, as you say, is you're trying to give normality to the players. Our players, I felt in 2018 that they were ready to almost complicate things from a tactical point of view. At times, the game, if they didn't have anything in their heads, it could get too emotional, and that's probably our players were in an age that they used to pressure, they used to having to win big games, they used to having to be the main players of probably the main teams in Europe. So I felt that at that point it was right for us that we could be very flexible tactically. And in games like you mentioning, the tournament, we were 2-0 down against Japan with 22 minutes to go.
Lukaku, and here's a winner! Oh, can you believe it? Belgium into a quarter-final against Brazil.
It was a calmness about the focus of the players. Then playing against Brazil, as you say, you go to the stadium, everything is yellow, everyone tells you that they won the World Cup 5 times, and there is a mental barrier before you go into the pitch, the players. And that's a game that I felt that they needed a lot of tactical food in their heads to be able to concentrate in actually the game rather than thinking that you're playing against a team like Brazil. And I think that's what the tournament is. I think it's feeling what the players need for that tournament. I don't think that's the same for every national team. I think if you change a lot of things, it could be distracting. In our case, it was a need that probably we could concentrate in each game individually and having a different approach, because we had so many different qualities in the dressing room. We got an incredible mixture. Our diversity is a real strength of ours. We can keep the ball, we can be very dangerous in possession, but we can, in transition, we are as strong. At club level, you are outstanding at something. Mm-hmm. And I found that at international level, probably you got that opportunity of being outstanding at many aspects. Strong emotion of having the pressure of playing at home, I think, is the opposite. It's almost those big sporting events that you see someone that is flying through the competition because of that emotional part, and probably that's what we focus in now. There's a lot of expectations, and in Belgium we've been number one for almost 18 months, and it's trying to become focus on what we can improve rather than believing that because you've been number one you're going to turn up in a game and you're going to win, which, as you know, in football it never happens that way. But it's fascinating to see how you can prepare a team going into a Copa America and then Asian Cup. Do you see against Asian opposition or Copa America?
I see differences. First, I see our players when we play the Asian Cup, they feel comfortable because we are in our zone, in our area, and we play many times against all our opposition. We know the players directly because we play against them in the clubs or in the national teams. And once we went to the Copa America, it's absolutely different. First, the atmosphere, you can feel the stadiums, the supporters, our players are not, they deal with this, but they're not used to play with the stadiums. As you said, you go outside yellow, or against Argentina, 30,000 Argentinian supporters coming to support their team in Brazil. And also the individual quality. We face that it's very different. We play against teams like Colombia, Brazil in a friendly game, and Argentina, especially these three that all their players they play. Of course, to deal with this quality, individual quality, you see much more difference, and also we find out that for every mistake you pay a big price, and this, it's of course the things that, as I said before, it's good to play these tournaments to get this experience, because also the way to play of good for us to face these situations, and also at the end of the day to play against big players, Messi, Neymar, Falcao in Colombia. Play again, I'm not gonna say they're gonna feel it normal, but they're used, and I think it's important. We get something here in Asia very big for the country, of course. And this is a good first step because we never reached far in an Asian Cup, and this time we were able to win it. But of course, the next step is to go to play against stronger opposition. That's one of our main targets, to get this experience. We play Iceland. We need to get this experience. If we want to improve, we need to put ourselves at the maximum pressure in terms of way of play teams that you're going to play against. So.
But that's a big advantage. Huh? I don't think no other nation in the world will have that preparation, that training. If you got a young player and all of a sudden you're working towards a 2022 event, and through that you got Copa America and you got the Asian Cup, and then you got high-profile friendlies. This is a really nice interesting. You have to bring the players very quickly together, and they never had that opportunity to build it up. So it'll be very, very interesting.
This is a particularity of each country. Eh?
It is.
We have advantage. You have good points, not good points. We need to adapt to the situation. After you get in the number one in the FIFA ranking, which is a massive, huge achievement for you, the country, did you face the approach of the other teams when they play against you? They change? Because, for example, in our case, we face here in Asia, and you are the first not in Europe, in the world. So you face also these kind of situations, more respect. Teams, they play different when play against.
Yes, I think there is a clear pattern now that when we face an opposition, most of the time there is a change. There is not what they've been used to be doing, and I think that's I think in our case our players are normally used to do that at club level. At club level they play in teams that normally when they play the game, the opposition will adapt to that day. So I don't think that's a big difference for us. I think it's been really good for us internally to try to find what the solutions would be in those cases when you get teams that all of a sudden they shock you on the day and they do things that they are a little bit different, or they are happy to give you the ball. I think we're quite fortunate in that respect. I don't think we are a team that we were, as I said before, just one trick pony, that we only had one strength. I think our group of players almost got the options of using different strengths. I think the mentality of the group almost enjoys when there is that situation that they give you the ball and they give you a lot of respect. In that respect, they say, okay, break us down. But it has been a change. It has been almost a perception that in the last 2 years we've seen that change, probably since the World Cup in Russia.